Hello everyone, welcome back to another Massachusetts Central Radio Show. I'm your humble host, Lee. Come on, here for another one of these. I'm going to try to prep you guys up if you guys don't fall. You guys do, then I'm obviously not doing a very good job of doing it. You guys recognize this case, it's my Moto G Styles case. Hello everybody, welcome back to another one of these brilliant episodes. Welcome back to episode 136. Yeah, it's 136. No, not 136, 236. It's either 235 or 236. I can't remember. I didn't record one yesterday. I actually had a headache yesterday, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't really feel all that great. I ate some pizza, and I thought that would do it. I didn't eat much yesterday, so... yeah, so it didn't help out help that out. So I am recording one yesterday. I'm trying to do better. I've only missed one, so at least I'm not as daft as I was last 3 weeks. So I'm recovering, and I'm going to do another one today. I should feel very good. This one's going to be about, I don't know, 11, maybe 14, 15 minutes, as long as I record during the time that it is, as long as I record it on the day of the day I record, and then it counts. Also knows the views went up. We went from 568 to 574, 5,570 like 5 views. Thank you guys for watching again. I knew you guys would pick up once I decided. That's great. Channel's moving on to 5,600. We're going slow but sure. So yeah, guys. The reason why I wanted to come here today is because it's October 4th, and if you guys know October 4th, this is significant. The reason why I wanted to do this is because, well, on this day, this day at about 6:30, this exact day, this exact day, I mean, it would kind of be exact if it was, but this day back in 2015 at 6:35 a.m., you guys will know that this was the day my grandfather passed. My grandfather passed the 4th. It has been 6 years since he has done it, since he has left us and gone up to heaven with the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and Jesus and all that other interesting stuff. If you guys believe in that, if you guys believe in Allah, if you guys believe in Allah, Muhammad, and everything else like that, Buddha, you guys just, I respect all religions, all the ideals and everything. So, in any other one like that, I just, whoever you guys believe in, I have no qualms with everybody. I just don't believe in that whole thing. There's one thing I don't do. I don't diss on any religions, because every religion has their own good points and bad points, and I'm not going to get into that. It's all that, because I just don't want to get into that, because I'm not as susceptible to that tomfoolery that we see around the world, because not all Muslims are bad, not all Islamists are bad, not all Buddhists are bad, not all Hebrew people who believe in the Hebrew, the Old Testament, are bad. No one is bad. It's just down to the people who use it for a reason to hurt others, and stuff like that. That's something I don't believe in. I don't believe in the extremists who use religion to say, oh, we need to clear and smite this group, smite that group, or kill that group, because that's been happening forever. It doesn't matter whether you're Catholic / Christian, or Protestant, or anything. There's always some malarkey. So, every religion's got their ideals. It's if you practice what you practice, obviously that's gonna do whatever. So yeah, I don't have anything against any religions or anything. It's just the people who misuse them for certain ideals I don't agree with. But And there's people who are going to disagree with me, and you guys are fine to do that. Fine to do that. It's an open world here in America, so you guys can. So if anybody um, who's who believes in Muslim, the Islamic, and all those other groups, you guys are all free to practice your religion. That's the reason why we created America, so no one's going to shun you. If you practice fasting, that's not a problem because that's part of your religion. You know, it's good to observe that. Some people don't understand that. Some people are oblivious to it. And stuff like that. But anyway, so I respect all religions. It's just when people abuse them for radical ideas that it becomes a problem. But obviously that's a topic for another day. But yeah, so this day back in 2015, 6:33 a.m., Grandpa Joe Dom left us in his spirit. He left us physically, but not in spirit. But he didn't leave us in spirit. He's still up there in the clouds, still probably smiling with all the good deeds I've done over the last couple of years, you know, with Tom, Meg, April, and all the, you know, right and wrongs and stuff like that. Grandpa Joe Dom, probably one of the greatest men I've ever met, was married for 61 years, treated my grandmother with respect. There was always some classic moments between the two, but you know, my mother said that's just classic Nana and Grandpa for you. It's, you know, it was typical in the Irish Italian household that my mother grew up in, with his her 6 sisters, and with her 5 sisters and her 3 brothers. So, I'm actually one of, I'm 9, since there were 9 aunts and uncles, but most of our families have, some of our families have 2 people. Some, my Aunt Nan, 2 girls, Allie and Kristen, and then there's, which are her granddaughters, and then there's me, Miles, and Chuck, the grandson. And then there's Julia and Sam, who are who's the grandson, who's another grandson, another granddaughter, and then there's obviously who can I forget? My cousin Danny, who's the musician in the group. So there's so between some of the aunts and uncles don't have kids because either they're single or they haven't been married. They've been close to it, and they've been, you know, it's sort of weird, and stuff like that. So every single one. So yeah, he taught every single one of his grandsons, his grandkids, and granddaughters all that they knew. Taught us to be teachers, storytellers, comedians. My grandfather always had a sense of humor. He would always tell us, don't tell your mother that we did this, or you didn't hear this from me, or something like that. He was almost like a Vito Corleone. He had the scratchy Italian voice, very friendly guy, would give the shirt off your back, very generous guy, loved his grandkids and loved his kids to death, made sure they were all safe, and stuff like that. He was an avid shipbuilder. He built violins, he built ships, shot firearms, taught us how to shoot BB guns when we were younger. Probably the reason how I got into firearms myself is because through him. I got into cars through my dad's dad, and I got interested in history because my grandfather was actually a Korean War veteran. He was a bombardier for 3 years. He was a bombardier. He was the guy who aimed the bombs at the enemy, and proud of his service. He was an Air Force man for 3 years, and he served between the years 1951 and 1951 and 1953. So 51, 52, 53. So he served 3 years. He came back home, I think, late 54. Married my grandmother. Well, he came back in 53, married my grandmother in 54. I believe Jerry, my Aunt Jerry, was the first to come out, and the first to come, then my Uncle Joe, my Aunt Nan, my Uncle Mike. I think it was my Uncle Mike, Aunt Nan. Then there was Kathy, and then Joni. No, actually, I think Joni was. No, actually, Joni was later. Kathy, and then eventually my mom. Then Kathy. Then Joni in 66, 67, and then John, the little guy of the whole group, 1970. So so there was quite a bit of spread between when they were born, because they were born different time periods. So there was a big stretch. So there's a big stretch of ages. My Aunt Jerry's the oldest at my Aunt Jerry's the oldest at 60. I believe it's 67. Well, it's 2021, and she was born in 54. Yeah, so she was born. Yeah, so she's 67, and the youngest is John, who is about 54, 64, 6 years, who's 16 years younger. So he's in his early 50s. Big Red Sox. A good portion of my family are Red Sox fans and sports fans, but yeah, we're all avid collectors. We seem to be collectors of some things. Of course, I'm collectors of cars, you guys know. Have a BB gun collection thanks to him, and I have a sort of a respect for firearms because of him. My dad taught me the respect for firearms and their usage, and their safety, and not use them as a last resort. And my grandfather, one thing, in his last few years, he kind of taught me, taking things apart, putting things back together, and really studying everything. He was kind of very analytical. His mind was amazing. Even at 85, he was able to put battleships, plastic models together, metal models together. And this is a guy who was on blood thinners and stuff, and he was working with metal. Guy was crazy, but he was a good crazy. He didn't waste a minute of his lifetime, because he knew he only had a finite number of years left. I think it was around 2010, we were like, oh yeah. So he was born in October of 29. My grandfather was born 2 weeks before the market crashed. And my grandfather was a very strict man. I think his grandfather, Antonio, I think his father, my great-great-grandfather, Antonio, was also a very strict man. He told me all the stories from the Great Depression, when he was bagging groceries during the war, when he was younger. My grandfather was probably bagging groceries at the age of 10. And he was doing that for 14, 15. He was doing that 14, 15. And then eventually, when he qualified, and eventually, I think in the, he was 15, 16. I think when he was, 49, he would be, 49, he'd be 20. 50, he'd be 20. He'd be 20, 21. And then 51, he joined the Air Force, and then he spent 3 years. He married my grandmother at the age of, I think, 24, 25. I can't remember. My grandmother was born 2 years after my grandfather. She was born in 31. So my grandmother was, I believe, at the time, 2 years younger. So she was born so she would have been 23 at the time. And I think he figured out that, he might have wanted to start a family 24, 25. And 24, 25, and he already had the war experience under him, so he was a little bit more experienced. He was a little bit more mature. He saw things that probably he never said much during his time, because he was up in a plane the whole time. He was fearing for his life. He didn't know if he was going to get shot down or not. So, and I'm thankful to God that he didn't, and he didn't get captured, because I wouldn't exist, pretty much, because I wouldn't exist. So, well, I would exist, but it just would be in a different. But I'm grateful that, you know, God watched over my grandfather while he was over there in the early 50s, fighting for Korea in a war that a lot of people say that, like Vietnam, we shouldn't have been there, but it's a topic for another day. So yeah, he came over. Yeah, so he was born during the Great Depression. He always was a man who. So when he turned, so I think it was in 2009. Yeah, so I think it was 2009 that he turned. Yeah, it was 2009. So he was born 29. So he just turned. So he just turned 80 years old, and a lot of people were like, well, yeah, he's doing very good. The only thing was, though, up to the time, he had a couple heart attacks, so no one knew what he was going to really do after that. Unfortunately, that would all come to a sort of a big, that would all come to an exclamation point, and would come to a very frightful moment back in 2012. So when he was, he was 81 in 2010. He was 82 in 2011. He was 83 in 2012. So when you hit 83, a lot of people were like, oh, he's going to live on forever. And then eventually one day that didn't quite happen. He had heart trouble one day, and a lot of people didn't think he was going to do well. And a lot of people didn't think he was going to do well. And a lot of people, he gave a lot of people hiccups. He gave a lot of people, he feared everybody. I remember going in. I remember after that, for the next 3 years, I went in the hospital, I visited him in the house. He taught me all he needed to know, all I needed to know and survive. He taught me some hard lessons. He gave me advice. Always taught me to take things apart, put things back together, and figure out how everything works. It helped me in some very interesting situations in the last couple of years. I've been able to piece things together, take things apart and whatnot. And he's probably the reason why, well, my dad's also part of that, but he was probably the reason why I did well in some high tense situations. If there's one thing that I have in my blood, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, whether you're under pressure or you're not under pressure, you always want to make the right decisions, and you don't want to make the wrong ones if you don't want to lose your life, your employment, or everything like that. I told you guys about his buddy making the wrong decision, and stuff like that. And I took all this to heart, and then eventually my mother kept him alive. I remember around 2014, 2015, that we kind of, this is right after I had a rebound in my life, actually, and I was able to help fight and everything. And I remember we'd stay at the hospital. I wouldn't do any overnight stints because I couldn't, because I had school. All I know is we'd be in there, we'd eat burger, we'd eat out, and we'd do whatever. We'd eat in the lobby, we'd eat in a food court or something like that near Boston, because we wanted to be as close to him as possible. My mother used to stay overnight. There were some tireless nights my mother would stay up, because she wanted to make sure he stayed alive as long as he could. And then August, September rolled around, and his heart capacity was going, and then eventually, I think it was September It was late September, mid-September. Um, I just turned 25, 26 at the time, and I was battling. I was trying to get through school and stuff like that. And I remember in the last 2 weeks of September, he ended up spraining his ankle, fracturing a bone. And for any of those people who know, that does tax your heart, because your heart has to work a lot harder to heal that up, seal all that up, and really do that. That's this was the last week in September, and this was the final nail in the coffin. His heart couldn't really take it, and I think it was October 1st. They weren't sure he was going to survive the week, and then eventually the 3rd. I remember going in on the 3rd. It was a Friday. No, it was a Saturday night. It was Friday, October 3rd. Saturday, October 3rd, and I remember he was on morphine. He wasn't doing so well. His heart really gave in, and we left at probably 12:30, and because I had work at like 9 o'clock that day, 9 o'clock that night, and 9 o'clock that morning, and I got up, and I said, and I knew he was in rough shape, and I said, and I got up 6:30. I got up like 6:36. I got up maybe 7:40. Well, no, I got up at 7 o'clock, and no. I actually had a closing shift. So I got up probably about 10 o'clock. So I was like, Chuck, when did he go? So it was like, Chuck, were you there when it happened? He says, yeah, my guy was there. He went at 6:33. And I said a prayer, and I knew he was in a different place, in a better place. I went in at about 4 o'clock that night, and I shouldn't have gone, but I knew he would have wanted me to be there. A lot of people, I wasn't feeling so hot, so a lot of people went up to me, and they were like, hey, we noticed you're not doing so well. What's up? And then I'm like, my grandfather passed away early this morning, and they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't mean to. I'm like, no, it's okay. I tried to be quiet. I told a few people, and everybody's like, oh, we're so sorry for you. I remember, I knew April at this point, so I told her. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Was he a good man? I'm like, yeah, he was very good. He taught me a lot, and he taught me a lot of interesting lessons that must know. Some that would come into play later on when I helped her. So, I remember my boss, Terry, almost crying when I told her the news, and she should have, because, he's a great man. And she was like, and I think she was closing that night. She was like, you're really brave I'm like, you're really brave to be at this. I'm like, you're really brave to close at this hour and, do it. I'm like, listen, Terry, he would have wanted this. He would have wanted that. He would have wanted me to close this place and do it well. And I did 100%. They actually didn't bother me the whole day, because they were like, she was like, that's the best I think I've ever seen you do something. And then she goes like, I said, you were on point today. I thought you were going to be. And she goes out, and I told her, I said, oh, you thought I was going to be all emotional, huh? And I said, nope. He's up there right now laughing. He knows, he's up there chuckling. He knows I was going to put my foot down today, and that's what I did for him. I did that for him. So yeah, that's the story of my grandfather. So yeah, Grandpa Joe, Dad, Grandpa Anthony Dominicucci, up there in heaven. I pray for you every single day, and for you to guide me. And you probably got me out of, you and Bill and Nana Camo probably got me out of more predicaments, and watched over me and all my friends over the last couple of years. And I thank you, God, and I want you to bless me every single day, and I will bless you, and I will pray for your spirits to bless me, my friends, my family, and everybody around me for good life, good strong lives, and to very well, uh, stay very well organized, and stay, tip top of things. One thing that my grandfather didn't do is he never wasted any time. When he was we always used to quip when he was alive. He never wasted a minute. We can only imagine what he will do with eternity, because he's up there, and he's up there with the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and he's got plenty to play with. I'm pretty sure that he has all the dogs that my friends have lost over the years. He's definitely probably playing with Joey. He's definitely probably playing with Joey, Andrew's dog, Nikki, Megan's dog. He's definitely playing with Cleo and Roxy, both of April's dogs, and also Tilly, and Tom's dog. Because my grandfather was a dog man, so he was never a cat person. He was a dog man. He loved dogs. He loved their spirits. He liked Gromit, my aunt Nan's dog, my aunt Nan's, and my uncle Doug's, Allie and Kristen's dog. So yeah, he's probably playing with those dogs up there. He's probably having fun, having a couple conversations with Nana Camo and all those that have passed away in the last couple of years. He's definitely has some more company of people whose spirits that I've known over the years. So I'm pretty sure that he's looking down, laughing, seeing me chronicle my life, telling a story like a true Camo / Dominic Cucci does. So, Grandpa, Joe Dad, this is for you. This video and this is dedicated to you. Try to do this every year for you, because you were such a great spirit. You are still a great spirit, and you're a great man. You're a great man, even up in the stars, and you're a great spirit. And you show up as a dragonfly once in a while to let us know that your presence is still here. And I pretty much, anytime I see a dragonfly, I know it's you. So, yeah, people. And for those of you who have lost somebody, make sure you cherish their souls and their lives. I'm pretty sure April will cherish her grandmother, who taught her to be strong and independent. Josephine Vendetti, of course, was the one who I'm referring to. I'm pretty sure she's looking upon me for helping out her granddaughter fight a fight that she probably could have won on her own, I know, in my heart. But she's probably smiling down on me, knowing that I helped her granddaughter out with some tough stuff, because even the strongest of people do need to have another strong person to back them up and keep them going and believe in them, which is what I did. So, and Grandpa taught me to believe in women and their strength 100%. So, along with my dad and everybody else. So, so everybody, Grandpa Joe Dad, this one's out to you. I'm gonna end this one off. So as usual, everybody, long live America. God bless America. Long live our freedoms and our rights. Pray for those souls that we've lost, especially Joseph Dominic Cucci, my grandfather. Those who we've lost to COVID and to natural causes. Everybody, I sign you off. Good night. Also pray for my friends Tom, Megan, and April, and Andrew Brusso, and Dan Barrett. Let them all stay strong. Pray and bless my family that we all stay strong and that we all stay good. We all have the power to heal ourselves and do well. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys for 2:37 Wednesday, actually. El Noir will be uploaded on Tuesday night. If you guys enjoy it, it's kind of a triple header. It's kind of a triple feature. I was going to make it a double feature, but I want to make a triple feature and stuff like that, because I didn't want to give you guys a small video. The next video will be the first. For the next video after this next one, episode 3, will be traffic. Will be the traffic desk. So, and ever the detective that I am taking things apart. I guess so. All right, guys, I bid this one adieu, and I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your Monday or Tuesday, whenever you enjoy your Tuesday, or enjoy your Tuesday, and enjoy the rest of your week. I'll definitely be uploading a new one Wednesday. Peace out, guys, and this is a tribute, and this is a 6-year tribute to Anthony Joseph Dumpanicucci. Good night, everybody, and let his spirit live on in our hearts. Amen.